And let's hope they brought something to get over that bar, because Space Station's bar is out there pretty high up in the atmosphere. That's for sure.
Can't really see it on the initial jump. The camera has to pan the whole way up. Oh, and the first shot belongs to Reddles, saved by Torment. Calm, coming into this roster, is certainly a different feel and a look from AXB, who typically finds himself in either the cleanup role or being the guy to make the challenge, to create some space for your team. But Calm relies much more heavily on advanced mechanics and is very capable behind the ball in really any phase of the game. I think we saw that come to fruition in the first match, but we'll see how they handle Space Station overall. They've had to defend a couple shots now in the first minute, but overall, hanging pretty well right now.
Yeah, and there's a bit of back and forth. We saw Reddles just go for that demo on the goal line. Calm, however, in that situation, was able to get a demo, then a bump that gave some space to Version1. So we're seeing them step up and punch back against a Space Station team that is known to be quite aggressive.
Especially with this guy behind the ball, Arsenal, who, yeah, I mean, every now and then for Space Station, we switch up who the most impactful player on this team is. Like, is it Typical with his insane ability to carry the ball? Is it Arsenal, who has developed into that type of player as well? Or is it Reddles, who can turn into a monster at any point in time on the pitch? He probably used to be more known to go for a lot of demos, and he certainly still has a lot of physicality in his game, but he's been such a threat, carrying the ball, out-dribbling his opponents, and the passing game from Space Station as well, all around. It's why they've been at the top of North America this season.
Yeah, they're that team that you constantly expect to be up near the top, if not sitting on top. NRG, I think, recently beating them on the grid. And ooh, Reddles slipped that one by, and I'm surprised a bit. Calm was sitting in net. Oh, he was getting bumped by Arsenal.
Ooh, and Gimmick tried to make up for it too, but just missed it. Calm, no boost either, so Reddles just puts it up above him. And that's how they get punished to start it off, but really just a great harassment in net from Space Station. That's something Version1 are going to have to contend with all match.
It started early, and it's continuing on. An Arsenal, frustrating player to deal with. I talk about this quite a bit whenever I cast Space Station. Arsenal is probably, just watching him, he seems to be the most frustrating player to play against out of any team in North America. He's so smart with his space. He's also ruthless on the bumps and tough to get around because he's got great mechanics, very quick reaction time. So it's tough to escape the bumps, tougher to bump him, and tough to read him. He's a fantastic player that adds so much to this Space Station offense.
On the other side, you have Gimmick, who in their first match was winning all of the 50-50s, and when Gimmick was in his, I won't say prime, but when Gimmick was at his peak, he could never lose a 50-50. He's playing a lot less dominance these days, and he's still winning 50s in this Octane, but Space Station will kick it away, and that's off the post. Torment let it run, and Typical will score. Ooh.
You know, Reddles paying homage to F3 and Cookser with the tag in his name, Typical. Well, he'll get the goal for that, but that pinch from Reddles, that was the image of Cookser right there.
Version1 had a couple of good pushes down the field, but the typical things that teams struggle against Space Station on are coming up on the transition, the physical game. All those things coming into play already in the first game. Version1 trying to survive here. Gimmick puts this one up high against Torment. He'll actually get the touch right down to Calm. That was an interesting passing play from Version1 to get the goal.
Torment gets a double tap off the ceiling there, and it actually hit over to Calm gets a perfect pass over to Gimmick. Version1, that was lovely. Every cog spinning perfectly on that play, coming together at the right time, and now they are within one. Perhaps we can see them pull this one back and maybe get overtime.
Maybe Torment still does get more involved on offense. Maybe Gimmick and Torment become the duo despite Calm's ability on offense. It might have been the piece that they needed to play a little bit more of the game they've wanted to play. Right now, having to defend against Space Station, a long hang time in the attacking third, and it was a sneaky passing play in front. Gimmick on the assignment. I don't think he saw Reddles coming or turn back around for that pass.
And one of the things, again, that I'm loving from Space Station is just the fact that Arsenal's going for these bumps and demos in net. And that opens up so much space right in front of net to get that shot. It's an incredible strategy that Spacestation continues to do over and over.
Well, Reynolds will kill the ball in front to create a little bit of space. Version 1 behind Calm don't really have any space to work with. They're gonna have to try to find a way to mix it up against this Space Station defensive rotation. So even if Space Station start to feel the pressure a little bit, you know, Reynolds, it's not just him who's gonna slow that play down and get those soft touches where the offense might be expecting a harder clear out, or maybe a pass. Here's Torment, tried to slow it down. It's cleared out again. Reynolds gets the follow-up. Oh, Calm hops over one. Now crunch time in game number 1. But Arsenal had left the grounds pretty early for that one. He kind of knew the trajectory before it ever got anywhere and picked them off. That'll probably confirm the victory for Space Station.
Yeah, Reynolds, he has been all over the field, playing a part in every single goal. Reynolds so speedy. And this Space Station offense, when they're on their game, Jorby, it's so tough to keep up. It's like trying to keep your head above water in a turbulent ocean. Sometimes it's just not possible.
Now the currents are certainly strong. The Space Station are moving at quite a torrent. 1-0 to start the match off, but I think Version 1 had some pretty good ideas once they did get on offense. It's just the lack of quantity that is really hurting them. Space Station doing an excellent job on defense, only allowing 3 shots on net. So they definitely got some kinks to work out. Space Station are just aggressive, oppressive, whatever word you want to put there. I mean, Space Station were that against Version 1.
Yeah, Space Station just doing what we expect from them. They're so consistent. That's one thing about North America. The top teams, these top 4 teams, just so consistent. It will take a monumental effort to really throw a wrench in any of their games, it seems like. And Space Station, one of the better teams in the top 4, I would say. I think, you know, between Space Station and NRG, that's really who's at the top for me. And Space Station, when they're on, I think they're unbeatable. But right now, you know, this is one of those situations where they're on. Version 1 is going to have their hands full, Jorby, that's for sure.
Yeah, it almost felt routine for Space Station in that first game. And even when Version 1 thought they started to get a beat when they got on offense, something that killed them, Reynolds, like 2 or 3 times comes in on the blindside challenge, or Space Station are always passing to Reynolds, where Version 1 think he's rotating out, or he goes off cam and they think, oh, I got him beat. They're just a step or 2 behind on those defensive passing plays, and it trips up the entire rotation for Version 1. So if they can get a beat on the rotation for Space Station and do this, then maybe they'll have a bit more success. They do get the first goal in game 2.
And that demo, the demo, you know, it was a good idea, but, you know, unfortunately the rotation coming in a bit slower.
That's my Version 1. That's my favorite thing to happen to me, is when I get demoed and then we score, you know? Like, is there a greater feeling, James?
Well, I mean, it does feel pretty good. I mean, I think the only better feeling is when you get demoed and then you you spawn, you get the corner boost, and then you have like a flip reset or air dribble or open shot opportunity, and you score because you respawn back there. That's probably the only better thing.
When the RNG gods are in your favor. I don't think there's definitely a few other things that feel just as good. Version 1 able to pick up the transition. Now it's about taking the ball away from Sipical, and they need Calm to rotate in to do it. That just creates a little bit of space for Space Station. Version 1 getting tied up on their own corner, and Torment had to stretch a little too far. Arsenal will tie it up.
Arsenal, a booming shot, and you see both Torment and Gimmick getting tangled up there. And it doesn't help that Arsenal put a perfect bounce shot far post. That was going to be tough to save. Torment, if that ball's anywhere else, if it's, you know, shot near post or even close to the middle, I think Torment's going to be able to get that save. But Arsenal, well, you know, when you talk about teams that are consistent, they're made up of players that are consistent. And Arsenal continually making those plays time and time again. And that's what you expect, you know, from a Space Station team up there in that top spot. And another goal coming out for Reynolds.
And Calm actually tried to stop Reynolds from coming forward here, But Reddles hit the brakes, then stole the boost away from Com. And that's probably what gave Reddles that opportunity. But if Com actually gets the chip on him and Reddles doesn't immediately break, then Com might have actually saved that opportunity.
Yeah, no, that was very good awareness from Reddles. And those players that have great vision and game sense are so good at dodging demos. And that is a huge asset, a huge skill to have in today's game. Being able to read those demo attempts, it got Reddles that goal.
Spacestation are definitely one of those teams where, you know, obviously all three players excel at every phase of the game, but the biggest one is just the uptime on their field awareness. Or I feel like some teams, you know, they have some downtime in field awareness, whether it comes in rotating back or going for boost. Even if it's for a second, 2 seconds, that's an eon in a competitive game at this level. And Spacestation are as close to 100% field aware as you could probably get as a team when they look like this. Or as you like to say, or as you were saying earlier, James, like when they're on, they're unbeatable. It's because I don't think they ever drop a single iota of awareness on the play, and it makes them so difficult to beat.
That focus, that raw focus, and also the speed. If you're a player, you know, a lot of times it's kind of like any sport, Derby. It's players that just have excellent speed. They're so quick, the agility. And when you're a team like Spacestation, you're playing so fast that, you know, you're used to playing at an incredibly fast pace. So if the other team is giving you any slow downs or any space whatsoever, then you're able to react that much better.
Now, Version1 had finally gotten the clear, but you had two players sitting on 30 or no boost. In fact, Com has been sitting at 25 or lower for the last 30 seconds. He's finally got a couple of pads, but he can't break out past the midfield line. He has to use all of his boost in the tank to pick up another save, and Torment has to carry this out for Gimmick again, but can't win the 50, and so we're back here again in the corner. Version1 struggling on the pitch, struggling to hang on to the ball. Com pre-flips back into it to set up the opportunity, and Com actually gets the goal. Version1 tie it up.
Com, he barely gets that jump back off the ceiling, barely, and then the demo was own goal. After the demo, it was own goal. But seriously, pat Com on the back. His tires barely touched that ceiling, and then he was able to get that dunk. That was an immense effort from Com to even have that goal have a chance at going in.
To just pre-flip where you think you're expecting that ball to go. It's like, okay, he's going to kick it up higher. I'm just going to pre-flip over to the left. Hopefully it's in a decent spot. There was no better spot. And all Version1 just got robbed by Sipical out of the net. There was a pixel left of the ball to go in, but a pixel was all Spacestation needed to keep the ball out. Now Gimmick back on the carry. He gets annihilated by Arsenal, and Torment picks up Reddles for some consolation.
That might be the little boost that Version1 needs. And if Turtle's prediction, his bold prediction, which did shock the players on Spacestation, if his prediction is, you know, if it has any chance of being true, I think Version1 has to get this win.
It's looking a little bit better, but there's a lot of space for SSG. That one comes straight down for Gimmick, but Com's still working on very low boost. Gimmick back over to Torment. And this is kind of where Version1 have been for the most part. They've won on a couple of nice transitions. Obviously, Com, as soon as he grabbed a full tank of boost, he went the distance. But this is still a really tough situation to get out of the blue half on. Reddles kicks the ball away. Torment has to haul to get downfield. Now Sipical pumps it up high. Com ended up missing that ball, but it's probably working out better for Version1, except they can't win a 50 in their own half. Torment will win a midfield challenge. And as long as they survive in regulation, I'm sure they'll be happy to get a reset for the kickoff. Com back down in front again, stolen away by Spacestation. And Version1 not gonna try to overcommit on anything here. Would probably like the ball to drop, but Com actually pitches it high back over to Gimmick. We're gonna play in the air for a little bit longer. Sipical saw Reddles, and Torment's challenge wasn't good enough. Sipical denied by Com.
An exciting end to regulation, and now we're kicking off overtime. This is a chance for Version1 to snag one away. I think they're gonna have to if they want a chance at this series. We'll see how they play in overtime.
Arsenal tried to bite Com on that demo, but he stayed still, and now he's got Gimmick Well, he was going to have Gimmick, just couldn't get past the challenge. We saw Version1 pulling off as soon as they see Space Station come up, but Calm, hang on a second, has Gimmick, back to Calm. No, didn't have enough juice in the tank there to fully get over.
That was inches away from a season highlight play. Calm, if he had read that and they scored that, that would have been massive. But to even set up that counterattack, Reynolds went for the infield pass and there was nobody there. So we're starting to see a little bit of challenges coming out for Space Station. See if they can tighten things up.
Calm will get the next look. He's just got to pitch it away. I know that I've been saying it a lot, but Calm was on no boost in that play in midfield. And that's the stretch. Version1 still struggling to get some consistent presence in the boost game. Space Station, despite Version1 being successful on a couple of their counterattacks, still only putting 5 shots on net compared to the 9, now 10 from Space Station, and the gap starts to widen a little bit, just missing on that infield passing play. Arsenal stretching Version1's defense now. Typical slows it down in front, pops it by Torment, but Calm will have the next go at it. This is a really tough spot for Version1. Arsenal takes the ball away again. When you think you're finally getting the mix-ups in on defense, you're slowing it down. Space Station just takes the ball away from you and then generates an opportunity right on top of it.
Yeah, and then Reynolds doing more damage with that mind game up towards the ceiling, but this could be a chance. Arsenal turns on low boost.
Ooh. Typical is just trying to get in the way of Torment. He doesn't necessarily have to touch that ball. He just has to make Torment mistouch it at the very least. Didn't happen on that last play, but Typical got a nice touch back downfield to Arsenal. He's got enough boost for a double, and he almost dunked Torment. Typical turning wide on the Version1, panicking a little bit on the touch. Typical trying to punish Torment. Another save. Calm wrapped around too wide. Reynolds was right on top of him, and Space Station are hunting in front of the blue box. Torment kicked it back out into Calm, and as tenuous as it has looked on defense, they've survived for now, but Typical back can't keep it in the blue half. Torment gets the clear.
And that touch from Calm to not let that ball roll out into the middle was so important to keeping SSG at bay, but SSG continues this attack. They're going to have another chance here. Typical, though, gets 50'd by Calm, who has been brilliant on the defensive end for Version1.
Brilliant in tough situations where he doesn't have enough boosts. Every time I switch to Calm's car, like now he just picked up the canister. It's Typical has a tough save to make, but he can do it. And it was the perfect bounce back for Arsenal. Calm was waiting on the right side. If that save actually juts out to the corner, that's a Version1 victory. Instead, we play on. And Calm, another desperate clear the rest of Space Station the whole way back.
Desperation play there. But a good defensive stop from Torment off the back wall. Version1, they've been keeping pace, and now, the Reynolds gets bumped there. Perhaps that could have been a scoring chance for Version1.
Well, that feels like we're saying that consistently, James. If they just got that one part of the play.
That one bump even, you know, Space Station.
Yeah.
They're like Neo from the Matrix, dodging these shots coming at them. Just can't take that hit. You know, maybe they'll get grazed eventually. We'll see.
I just pictured like 15 balls just being shot all at once at Space Station. Like, yeah, dodge all of that. If the ball could demo you, well, we'd make it happen for that kind of show.
Leftemere can make anything happen, to be honest. So.
He can. He absolutely can. Arsenal gets that play by Version1, and now a free passing play to Reynolds. Snuck it by Gimmick, but it was a little too wide. Now Calm. It's going to be slow on the breakaway. He had to pick up that canister to get any boost in the tank, and he'll keep it out. But that's where the play dies again. Gimmick and Torment wait in midfield. Arsenal keeps the 50 locked. Torment uses the rest that he has to get it back to the corner. Now Gimmick again. Well, it's just reloading for Version1. They get back to their third. All right, reload. Launch it downfield. Someone get downfield for a passing play. We aren't able to break through Space Station in midfield any other way. These long balls, these long passes are the only way we can break it.
And that was a smart challenge from Torment. And even though, you know, some of these balls are dying in the corner, Jorby, it's so important for Version1 to be able to have Calm or have Torment take. Ooh, we might see a double tap. Woo! Torment falls!
Oh, that was beautiful. Man. He was so close to it, and it had to be that wide. He had two players defending the front side of the net. and having to avoid the player that come up on the challenge anyway. That's a tough double to hit for Torment. Now off the backboard, it comes way down. Reddles misses the ball, giving Gimmick a chance at the challenge, but it's killed again. James, again, version 1, we're so close.
And this is a good backward bounce. Gimmick didn't get the read. The bump attempt didn't come through either. They've been trying so much, Jorby. It hasn't paid off, but what I was going to say is, hold on. Gimmick, the double tap! That was sick from Gimmick.
Perfect from Gimmick, and finally, after so much pressure, version 1 cracked through. That first touch was brilliant from Gimmick. He's not going too fast on the play, only needs an inkling of boost to put it into the top. Beautifully done by Gimmick and company to hold on and survive against Spacestation, because that's exactly what that was, survival.
Well, you know what? I think it was even beyond survival in that latter half of overtime. Version 1, Jorby, what I was trying to say multiple times in that game is they're doing a fantastic job of making 2 players on Space Station have to commit to the challenges, which is very rare. Space Station normally is so good at having that player, that first player up on the challenge, get a good hit upfield that allows Space Station to go on the attack. But numerous times we saw Calm and also Torment being able to take 2 players out of the play, which gave version 1 the space and ultimately got Gimmick that space in which he was able to get the double tap. That was very good play from version 1.
And in those highlights, we saw the defensive stops that Space Station had and the misses that version 1 had. Those types of misses and saves from the other team can decimate a team's mentality if you're just constantly hitting the crossbar and the post, and you know the ball was almost into the net, but somehow like the other team keeps saving it. It can be so easy for things to snowball out of control, but to withstand that sort of pressure and to be able to convert in that game alone, well, that's going to mean a lot for version 1 in this next game for sure. But that is, well, that's how you reset things on the side of Space Station, and Arsenal will pick up the first goal.
And Calm is a bit awkward there. He had the boost. I feel like he needed to go for that challenge. You have to challenge that in the corner, you know, because after he didn't go, he was pretty much useless on the rest of that play. So that hesitation costing version 1 early.
Nice catch here in front, though. What can he do with it? He can actually force the ball in front of the net, and then no, it bounced off the post. Gimmick. Oh no, Calm after so much work in the corner, nothing.
I don't know how Gimmick also makes contact on that ball and it doesn't go anywhere but in the net.
Right? Like, how does that actually go off the post?
That's a tough one to stomach if you're version 1. That's a tough one to take.
Oh, after so much struggling in the first half of that overtime to get out of their own half, and even at the end of the regulation, you just feel like you're always playing defense against this Space Station squad.
But even there, version 1 making smart decisions on defense. Gimmick, instead of going for that ball since he was closest, he left it for Torment so he could get the corner boost. Torment had nothing, but at least it guaranteed Gimmick a chance to follow up on the rebound. So version 1, other than that early mistake, and even looking into this last game, I've been very impressed by their defense and their decision-making. Going up against a team like Space Station, which a lot of times makes that so challenging because they're so fast and aggressive. But version 1's been holding up to it.
Yeah, we see a lot of teams double commit on defense or they're just not in the right spot. But even in high-pressure situations on defense, version 1 look a lot like Team Envy on defense, honestly. Because Envy are also very good at stoicism on defense and not coming in until they know that they can and their other 2 teammates are just waiting for a follow-up. It just really good vision on their own half of the pitch. That's how version 1 feel, and we have an official, Arsenal's kicked up a little bit. Now Calm has picked up a toe. Arsenal being taken to the impound, and he'll be contacted by the eggs later.
I don't think the stream is seeing it. Now they are, right?
There we go.
This is an interesting setup here.
Octane's toe in the front, James. That's how that works.
You know, I think, you know, I'm going to focus more on the gameplay.
Well, we are back on Typical's cam and back underway. Glorified 2v2.
I mean,
that's what we're in right now.
It's a fair trade. Arsenal.
That's fair, yeah. Oh, is it fair though? Is it fair, James? Reddles puts in another one for Space Station. And before I pass this to you, I need someone out there to tell me the stat of how many times a team has gotten scored on by Space Station after having a headlock.
I want a stat on how many teams have committed to a headlock, or Rule 1, as some people might say. How many times has Space Station done that? I've seen Space Station lose games multiple times because they commit to that.
I want to know their record because I feel like I see this with Space Station more than any other North American team. Like, I swear there's a headlock in every other match that they play. And now they're in a bit of a stretch here on defense. Calm, so got a little bit of boost, will prevent the hard clear out to the corner. Gimmick's got nothing in the tank though, so he's gonna have to jump back down the rest of version 1, try to figure out how to punch a few holes in this Space Station defense. Calm's been looking a lot more comfortable in the attacking half. He's had more boost to deal with. I feel like in those first 2 games before that overtime, that was something he was just constantly stuck on his own half, and it was tough to get him involved on offense unless it was, you know, that passing or that long down the field play. Typical, here's one touch and kicks it up high. But he's looking a lot more comfortable in the rotation since that overtime. Gimmick tried to bang it off the wall for Calm, but Space Station's defense still proving to be pretty difficult for version 1 to contend with. V1 again, Gimmick. He's got Torment? No, he doesn't have Torment, just has to launch it downfield. Calm had to haul back to get to that touch in time, but there's just no way out for version 1.
And this the chance again, and you know, I'm wondering, oh, that's a good demo, but still Reddle's so quick to swoop in. Calm has been minimized this game quite a bit just from the speed that Space Station has brought yet again. They kick things into high gear. And then also, you know, that headlock, that Rule 1, definitely not doing any favors for version 1.
Just, okay, you took out Arsenal, cool, but Reynolds and Typical are still on the field. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's ever a good strategy to engage in a headlock with Space Station, ever.
Yeah, why give them more space, right? And 2s, when you give people more space, you let their mechanics shine. In Space Station, some of the most mechanical players in the game, I don't think I'd ever take that gamble, especially when Calm is the one getting taken out of the play.
But they do get one chance, version 1 do, with 4 seconds left. Gimmick will pick up off the whiff, and maybe they get something on the kickoff, but we'll see.
And this will have to be some sort of set piece. We'll see if there's a slow kickoff or something. I'm not sure. We'll see what version 1 has in the playbook.
Ooh,
and that was oh, you gotta cheat on that. Didn't really look like they had much planned other than going for their traditional kickoff.
Yeah, Arsenal just straight up won it, and then that was it pretty much. He landed right next to the ball. Perfect spot to be to force version 1 to try to stretch, and they can't do it. Space Station put version 1 on match point.
And I think this is where we expected to be. Version 1 really had an excellent game 2 to get that win in overtime. And I think if I point to one moment where I think was a failure for version 1 in this game, I would say it would be the Rule 1 with Calm and Arsenal. Just don't do that. Don't do that. Stop
I mean, I think it's also that they couldn't they couldn't get any clears on defense. I mean, it was a lot of this. It was like Calm. He was trying to catch that ball, right?
It's in the highlight package.
we you know, it's great entertainment, James. They're not during that little spat for them, but
you know, I've gone on rants before about how I feel about that whole situation. They're here trying to win money. You know, come. Give the people what they want, which is your gameplay. You know, don't rob us of that. But it happened, and it actually happened to benefit Space Station. I'd say they actually won by a single goal, which they scored as a result of that 2v2 that was going on. So we'll see if version 1 can force game 5, and if Calm can play the full 5 minutes.
Another thing I do feel like version 1 are struggling with is when they do get on defense, they go into desperation mode very quickly, and they start looking for hard clears. They can't keep Space Station off the ball. 18 seconds is all it takes this time, and they have the lead.
Another quick goal for Space Station, and Reynolds, he was so critical to that play. He slows the ball down, and that's one thing you'll see him do a lot as well, is those slowdowns, faking the hit, letting defenders fly by, setting up for the perfect 50. And then on top of making all those plays and getting the pass out, he got the demo as well. The production that each player can make on Space Station is really impressive. These guys don't give up on any play, always going that extra mile, but another goal comes out early, this time for Version 1.
And Reddles, last man back, his teammate getting demoed on this play through the smoke and just went for that. I don't think he saw Gimmick at all as he turned in. He got smoke screened, and so wasn't completely sure about the positioning. He just knew he had to turn in as soon as that second man got blown up, try to make the challenge happen. Just couldn't quite do it. Reddles looked for the read on Torment's touch. He won't get it. Space Station kick it away again, but here comes Com. Got one touch in the air. Sipical trying to follow him. Com, as soon as he saw Sipical in the air, just couldn't find a way through.
And decided to get that boost steal and get out, which I think is a good idea. Interesting pinch. Now this is going to be tough for Gimmick. He's last back.
Oh, he made it happen, but it's still coming back. Sipical lets the touch drop. Reddles dunks it over one. Space Station getting another rebound. Pass in front. Torment was a little late to it. And Version 1 probably happy that didn't find any kind of inch towards the net. Reddles in front makes it tough for Torment, but he got there in time for Arsenal. Sipical back up again. One touch. Here's a second, but Com got there in time. Reddles once more into the breach. No. Torment breaks out of it, but Arsenal just sat there and waited in that spot. And now he's got the ball. Now he has no goal as Com got away from it, and Torment kicks it away, but Reddles is hopping all on top of it. This whole progression shows you how dangerous Space Station can be, but the fact that Version 1 got out of that alive is incredible.
Com, he was getting some space, but Space Station's starting to come roaring back as well. Space Station, that was a savage attack. They had so many opportunities. Getting that little poke around the defense, and sometimes that's the better play. Instead of going for the shot you know is going to be blocked, just hit it to the corner. Keep that possession. Try to see what you can get going. But again, Version 1's defense has stood up to the test over and over against this Space Station squad.
Oh, Arsenal already downfield. Oh, what a shot from Arsenal! Comes off the opponent's back wall and turns it in.
Arsenal had 12 boost. 12 boost. That was a perfect pass up. You know, that's a beauty. That's like when you see someone throw the perfect pass on an alley-oop, hit you on the stride, airborne, and then you slam it in. Arsenal doing the exact same thing there. But that pass was really just excellent. And then just as I was praising the Version 1 defense, Space Station find a way to break them down, and I don't think there's any doubt that that was going to happen. Space Station is looking great, and now, Sipical, how did he miss that?
Oh, was he expecting to bounce up to the corner? No way, Torment just had the runaway train. He just caught the ball, hit the boost button, and said, see you later. Oh my goodness, Com got the attack, or Arsenal had to respect it because he was going to get bumped, and that's what cleared the lane to tie it up for Version 1. Yeah.
Strange play.
Very.
You don't see that too often. Sipical, I want to see that play again. I was on a player cam far away, but it looked like Sipical just missed. He just missed that, and that counterattack, you know, that put him in such a tough situation. And yeah, the bump attempt forcing the last defender to be in a tough position. So Version 1, they'll make the most of that opportunity. And maybe we'll see another overtime victory. We'll see.
Com couldn't get around the defense on that one, but the shots start coming to fruition for Version 1. But can they win a challenge to keep the ball in midfield? Com has to do it against Reddles, but couldn't quite handle that ball. And Arsenal will take that one away again. We were locked at 2-2 in Game 2 for quite a while. It went into overtime, but Reddles off the ceiling won't be able to do anything with it. Gimmick putting on a little bit of pressure against Sipical. Now against Com. Sipical. Not sure what happened on that. Was maybe expecting the challenge from Com, but Version 1 on offense yet again, but trying to work around this corner. Gimmicks all the 50s and gets 100. 3 goals for Version 1. They take the lead. Big play from Gimmick to pick up that goal, known for his 50 game, and it grants them the game leading goal now, just to try to force game number 5. Torment kicks this one up high, but Space Station, the offense has kind of dwindled in the latter half. They do have a total of 7 on net, but 5 of those came in the first half of the match.
See if Version 1 can hang on. Been incredibly impressed with how they're looking with Calm. It hasn't really been a situation where Space Station has played badly. It's just that Version 1, you know, they're playing better than we've seen them play. I think this Calm edition was a smart addition.
I really do agree, especially when he gets in a dangerous situation, a 2v1 transition. That's exactly where you want Calm to be. But he's showcasing his defensive prowess and his ability to be patient in really tight situations on the blue half. Now he gets a solid touch out to the back wall, but that second touch not forthcoming for the rest of Version 1. Gimmick able to pull the ball off the backboard, and Typical sends it right back forward. Space Station looking for a way in at the end of regulation. Arsenal, pot shot across the ramp. Calm trying to fight him off. Reddle's got the catch, but it will drop, and Version 1 will force Game 5.
Maybe Turtle is just 200 IQ, big brain.
Where do you see this coming?
He's, you know, a former player.
I guess
he just has better insight than any one of us, because Version 1 has a legitimate chance at taking this series against Space Station. They're staying with him every step of the way. Calm, I even like that play where we saw him going for that double tap. He dropped it down right to Space Station, but if he's either able to get the backward pass on that double tap or the backward pass, Torment was ready and in position if that pass was more towards him. So Calm bringing that next level of mechanics, and it's really, he's been a good fit, and we're seeing Gimmick step up and play well. That dunk in the situation where he was alone against 3 defenders of Space Station, gets that dunk and gets that goal, that was huge. So we're seeing all players from Version 1 step up, contribute, make these plays. They're keeping pace. We might see an upset here.
The pieces look like they're coming together for Version 1, but now they need one more victory to put an exclamation point on their run today. Up high in front, and if they win today, they don't have to play for the rest of the weekend. But the loser of this has to play tomorrow. That's going to be a high ball for Reddles. Reddles feathers the boost and almost got the goal, but Calm, patient as ever in front of the net, picks up the save.
That was a good block from Arsenal, though. Oh, this could be disastrous. And a huge read from Torment. Gimmick made that tough on him, though.
Yeah, Torment only had 20 boosts. He had to use all of it to get in position for that save. But now they have a transition play.
Lovely.
Downfield, Torment puts it on target, and Version 1 have taken control of the match.
Wow, and give Torment a medal. You know, this is Season 6 type defensive performances from Torment. He was in a rough situation, gets 2 defensive stops, and then is able to go upfield for that passing play. Version 1, they are not breaking stride.
Space Station unable to break through Version 1 consistently. Now they have no choice but to break through multiple times. Calm tried to get that challenge out. Reddles just wants to delay the inevitable, which is a Version 1 transition. Bounce in front. Arsenal's able to get by 1, but that second man has been so much faster to the ball on offense, James, for Version 1, where before they were struggling with boost, they had to stay a little bit more relaxed. Now, I mean, you can see who's in the driver's seat. It's Space Station having to react to Version 1 on a lot of these pushes.
This is an interesting situation we find ourselves in. You don't see this too often with Space Station.
Ooh. Quick jump from Gimmick. Made the 50 happen, too. Reddles can't get the ball out to Arsenal. Calm cutting off that go-ahead pass again. Torment, launched it a little too far for Gimmick, but Gimmick still gets the touch. Typical now for the turnaround. Pulls wide on the ball, fakes out Torment. Now he's got one more to beat in Calm. Forces Calm off the ball, and probably as clean as it could have got for Typical with how much he had to work through.
Yeah, Typical, he got around Calm, but Gimmick, fortunately for Version 1, was there ready and waiting. And this is another situation where they double commit. Space Station have a chance.
Typical's waiting for that, but Torment quickly onto that ball. Again, the defense, man. I'm truly impressed by Version 1's ability to get the ball. Like, as simple as it sounds, it's like even when you see Typical beat 2 defenders, that's okay, Gimmick's there. Even when you see Reddles bump one guy out of net, it's okay, the one guy knew, or Gimmick knew, and he rotated back, and he's gonna pick up the save. I mean, it's not just Gimmick, I'm just, you know, Torment and Calm,
it's
obviously.
positioning, and that's a massive bump from Torment. That's really given Version 1 possession here. We'll see what they can do with it.
Gimmick couldn't quite get that ball out. Calm delaying a harder clear. Oh, and Typical wraps around one. Calm waiting for it. Gimmick has to jump, and he picks up the save right on top of Reynolds. Calm launches it downfield, seeing Arsenal all by himself, but Arsenal makes the catch and gets the transition. Typical puts the ball on target, but Gimmick got the catch again. Version 1 will not break on defense, and they send the ball back to the orange half.
And they're happy to waste time. Less than 2 minutes left to go. They just need to hold off Space Station, but that is a tall task.
They've done it consistently so far, and they did it yet again there. Torment launching another ball downfield. Ooh, Gimmick baked out by Arsenal. Arsenal, weak flick, and Calm picks up the save, but the rebound is Reynolds, and it's in! Space Station tie up the match in Game 5.
And this situation, you see, Calm tried to play that flick. That flick from Arsenal rather was so deadly. He got that ball on his hood. You could tell Calm was in an uncomfortable position. Calm, I think you just, again, have to dive in on it. We've seen a few plays in this series where Calm just, I think, needs to just dive in, go in, trust your teammate in the back. They've been making so many saves today. And so that slight hesitation from Calm. And then also not the greatest hit. I think Torment even would have been there for that ball, been able to clear it off to the side. But still, Version 1 are not out of it just yet.
I did say weak for Arsenal's flick, but I think I just meant height. And you're absolutely right on the power involved in the play, forcing.
It just forced a bad hit from Calm going for that.
Put it straight up, yeah.
Yeah, when you're in the situation that Calm's in, you just can't get a good hit on it. You can't get a good hit. It's almost impossible.
You just hope that your second man is in position to deal with a follow-up on the backboard very quickly in that situation, but all of Version 1 were in the middle of rotating back, and so difficult to be in the spot you need to be in that kind of look. But Torment getting in front of this again, despite what's going on. Calm gets a setup for Torment, just wants to get behind the ball. I think he was expecting a faster challenge, and so was just getting behind it, used all of his boost to position behind it to kill it. Now Version 1, one more chance down the field. Three-man passing play. Torment takes it back to Gimmick. Gimmick slowed it down, but it's defended by Space Station. Do they have one more at the ball? It's hard against the backboard. Wow. Game 5 overtime. Here we go.
That was almost it. Version 1, their passing plays, they're not backing down.
Ooh. Typical kicks it up high against the ceiling, but Calm is there yet again. Arsenal, next chance at the net. Couldn't get another touch, so Gimmick has to beat Reynolds. He does, but the next ball, well, that'll be Typical's to punch down the field. And Version 1 have to find a new way out. We'll get it back to the corner here. Version 1 have done a great job disrupting the routes of Space Station, but now a 2v1 develops. Typical pops it up, Gimmick makes the save.
That was scary, but this is a good pass into the middle. Reynolds challenged by Gimmick.
And now Torment a little bit of space. Oh, pinched out and rolled off the post. Very close.
Hold my breath there.
Yeah. Space Station get out of it. A couple nice carries from Typical, but you're seeing Space Station run out of boost in the tank.
Well, that could be tough.
Ooh, and Torment couldn't grab it, but Reynolds respected it, waiting, but nobody from Version 1 can really get a handle on this ball. And this is the most interesting progression I think I've ever seen in a pro game.
Yeah, Gimmick, he had all the boost, and he was waiting for that ball to come across mid, but nobody wanted to get the hit. Everyone was thinking, I'm not going to be able to get a good hit here. I'll just wait. I'll buy time. And no one was hitting that ball for so long.
A nice catch from Arsenal in front. Oh, I just want a play where all 6 players... Oh! But Gimmick says go! And Version 1 have pulled off the unthinkable on day 1 of the regional! They've taken down Space Station in the upper bracket!
Wow! On the Octane, how do you even hit that roller top corner like that? That shot from Gimmick, that was a laser, and he got the perfect placement on it as well. That is a stunning shot from Gimmick to end this series. What a series it was from Version 1, the upset over Space Station. We heard the devs talking about it. We didn't think any of these top 4 teams were going to go down. Version1 is a team that has been struggling, looking for an answer. They make the roster move with Calm, and they get the win here. I don't think anyone saw this one coming except for Turtle.
I DM Turtle right now. I told him I need his notes. I need to know his secret, his method. I don't know how. I don't know how he backed this horse and he got the victory. Our first upset of the day is Version1 taking down Spacestation. We have G2 coming up next. Can they move on in the upper bracket? Find out after the break.